What if the very vitamins you've been faithfully taking every night believing they would protect your health are actually sabotaging your muscles while you sleep? Imagine lying down, thinking you're giving your body the nutrients it needs, but instead, those pills are quietly disrupting the deep rest and repair your muscles depend on. For millions of Americans over 60, this could be happening every single evening without them realizing it. Here's the surprising truth. Your muscles do most of their rebuilding during the night. That's when growth hormone peaks, when protein synthesis is active, and when your body should be repairing the wear and tear of the day. But if you take the wrong vitamin at the wrong time, you can shut down this natural process. Instead of waking up stronger, you wake up stiffer, weaker, and more fatigued. Over time, that adds up to faster muscle loss, poorer balance, and less independence. But here's the hopeful part. Just as certain vitamins can interfere with this nighttime rebuilding, there are 4 powerful vitamins that can actually supercharge it if you take them at the right time. These nutrients don't just support muscle health in general. Taken in the evening, they work with your body's natural rhythms to enhance recovery, improve sleep quality, and rebuild strength. And this holds true even if you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond. Tonight could be the night you stop the silent decline and start turning back the clock on muscle loss. In this video, I'll walk you through the 4 vitamins you should take at night to maximize muscle rebuilding, and the 2 common ones you absolutely need to avoid after dinner. This is not about quick fixes or miracle cures, it's about aligning your supplement routine with how your body truly works. And the difference can be dramatic. Stronger mornings, deeper sleep, and renewed energy, all by making a simple change in timing. When it comes to muscle health, timing is everything. Most people think muscles grow when we exercise, but that's only half the story. The real rebuilding happens while you sleep. In fact, research shows that as much as 70 to 80% of muscle repair and growth occurs during the deep stages of sleep, particularly in those first few hours of the night when growth hormone surges. This hormone acts like a master switch. It signals your body to take the protein and nutrients you've consumed throughout the day and use them to patch tiny tears in your muscle fibers, making them stronger and more resilient by morning. For adults over 60, this process becomes even more critical. Muscle loss, known as sarcopenia, is one of the most common yet overlooked issues of aging. It doesn't just mean weaker arms or legs, it's directly tied to balance, independence, and quality of life. Losing even a small percentage of muscle mass each year increases the risk of falls, slower recovery from illness, and a general decline in energy. Many older adults notice that climbing stairs feels harder, carrying groceries leaves them winded, or getting up from a chair takes more effort than before. That's sarcopenia in action, and it accelerates when sleep and nutrition are out of sync. Here's the key. It's not only about how much protein you eat or how often you exercise. Both of those matter, but they can't reach their full potential unless the nighttime rebuilding system is supported. Think of it like preparing a construction site. You can deliver all the bricks and lumber during the day, but if the workers don't show up at night, nothing gets built. Vitamins and minerals are like those workers. They show up at the critical moments, guiding hormones, enzymes, and neurotransmitters to do their jobs. If the right ones are missing when your body enters deep sleep, muscle repair slows down. If the wrong ones are taken too close to bedtime, they can actually disrupt the sleep cycle, shutting off the very process you want to encourage. This is why supplement timing is so important, especially as we age. A vitamin that seems harmless in the morning could keep you awake or interfere with growth hormone at night. On the other hand, certain nutrients, when taken just before bed, act like fuel for the recovery engine. They help you enter deeper sleep, stabilize blood sugar, reduce nighttime cramps, and boost the production of proteins that strengthen your muscles. For older adults, this simple adjustment, knowing what to take at night and what to avoid, can mean the difference between steadily losing muscle year after year or holding on to strength, independence, and vitality well into your 70s and 80s. Magnesium is often called the relaxation mineral, and for good reason. Every single time a muscle contracts and then releases, magnesium is required. Without enough of it, your muscles simply cannot recover from the wear and tear of daily life. Now here's the surprising part. Magnesium levels naturally dip at night, precisely when your body needs them the most. For adults over 60, this nightly dip is a major reason why leg cramps, restless legs, or muscle stiffness often show up just as you're trying to get some rest. 70% of people over the age of 60 are magnesium deficient, and most don't even realize it. They might blame their poor sleep on stress or their sore muscles on aging, but in many cases the real culprit is a lack of this essential mineral. Think about it. You can eat enough protein and even exercise regularly, but if your muscles don't have the magnesium they need during the critical nighttime repair window, it's like trying to build a house without nails. The framework just won't hold. Not all magnesium is created equal, though. You've probably seen magnesium oxide or citrate on supplement labels. These forms can cause digestive upset, bloating, or even diarrhea, and they don't efficiently reach the muscles. That's why the form I recommend, especially for nighttime muscle rebuilding, is magnesium glycinate. This version is bound to glycine, a calming amino acid that not only helps magnesium absorb more effectively but also brings its own sleep-enhancing benefits. Glycine gently lowers core body temperature and supports neurotransmitters in the brain that make it easier to enter deep, restorative sleep. Together, magnesium and glycine create a powerful duo that prepares both your muscles and your nervous system for recovery. When you take magnesium glycinate before bed, you're doing more than preventing cramps. You're fueling the entire cascade of repair. Magnesium activates over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, many of which are directly tied to energy production and protein synthesis. Without it, your muscles don't have the energy currency, known as ATP, to rebuild themselves. With it, protein from your meals gets converted into stronger fibers, and micro-tears from daily activity get patched. In addition, magnesium supports stable blood sugar levels overnight. That matters because when blood sugar spikes and crashes while you sleep, cortisol, the stress hormone, gets released. Cortisol breaks down muscle tissue. Keeping blood sugar stable with magnesium helps prevent that unnecessary breakdown. Let me give you a picture of how this can look in real life. Imagine a 72-year-old man who has been struggling with nightly leg cramps. He wakes up 2 or 3 times every night, massaging his calves, unable to fall back asleep. His mornings are rough. He feels stiff, achy, and drained before the day even begins. After starting magnesium glycinate, within 2 weeks he notices he's sleeping through the night with fewer cramps. By the 1-month mark, he wakes up refreshed instead of exhausted. His muscles no longer feel like they're betraying him, and he's able to go about his day with more energy. The dose matters too. Research suggests that taking about 100 to 200 milligrams of elemental magnesium from glycinate, roughly 30 to 60 minutes before bed, is enough to support both muscle recovery and sleep without digestive issues. Some people tolerate a bit more, others do well on the lower end. The key is consistency. Taking it once in a while won't reset your body's rhythm, but taking it nightly at the same time helps train your muscles and nervous system to expect this support. What you shouldn't do is assume that more is better. Too much magnesium at once can backfire, leading to loose stools or stomach upset. The glycinate form reduces that risk dramatically, but it's still important to stick to a moderate, effective dose. And don't forget, while magnesium can be found in leafy greens, nuts, and seeds, the amount you'd have to eat daily to match these levels is difficult for most people, especially older adults with smaller appetites or digestive issues. That's why targeted supplementation in the evening is so valuable. Think of magnesium glycinate as the quiet partner in your nighttime routine. You may not notice it working in the moment, but your muscles, your energy, and even your mood the next day will show you the difference. Many seniors describe it as the turning point when their nights went from restless and painful to calm and restorative. By simply replacing what your body naturally loses each night, you give your muscles the exact tool they need to wake up stronger instead of weaker. Let's take a closer look at the glycine component, because it's more than just a carrier for magnesium. Glycine is one of the most abundant amino acids in collagen, the connective tissue that holds muscles, tendons, and joints together. When you supplement with magnesium glycinate, you're not only restoring magnesium levels, you're also getting glycine's unique benefits for both sleep and muscle recovery. Studies have shown that glycine can improve sleep quality, shorten the time it takes to fall asleep, and reduce fatigue the following day. One reason is that glycine helps lower core body temperature, which is a natural signal to the brain that it's time to enter deep sleep. For older adults who often complain of light sleep or frequent awakenings, this cooling effect can make the difference between tossing and turning versus drifting into restorative rest. And when you get more deep sleep, you release more growth hormone, the very hormone that drives muscle repair. Think of it this way. Magnesium and glycine together are like flipping the switch from fight or flight to rest and rebuild. Magnesium calms the nervous system by activating the parasympathetic branch, sometimes called the rest and digest mode. Glycine helps you sink into the deep stages of sleep where growth hormone is pulsing. The result? Your body doesn't just rest, it actively heals. Let's consider another example. A 68-year-old woman had been noticing that her mornings always started with stiffness in her back and shoulders. She assumed it was arthritis or simply old age. But after adding magnesium glycinate at night, within a few weeks, she was waking up without that heavy, achy feeling. She described it as though her body had been oiled overnight. What really happened was her muscles were finally getting the mineral support they needed to repair microtears and release tension while she slept. There's also the connection between magnesium and blood sugar control overnight. Many seniors experience nighttime awakenings because of blood sugar fluctuations, whether it's waking up sweaty, restless, or just unable to fall back asleep. Magnesium helps regulate insulin and keeps blood sugar more stable, which in turn lowers cortisol. Lower cortisol means less nighttime muscle breakdown. So, with magnesium glycinate, you're protecting your muscles on two levels, by providing the mineral required for repair and by preventing the hormone-driven breakdown that eats away at muscle tissue. Another critical point, magnesium deficiency doesn't just cause cramps or weakness, it accelerates sarcopenia. Without enough magnesium, your body can't effectively use protein to build muscle. You could be eating chicken, fish, beans, or even protein shakes every day, but without magnesium, much of that protein is wasted. That's why seniors who correct a deficiency with nighttime magnesium glycinate often report noticeable improvements in strength and function within just a few weeks. Now, how do you know if you're low on magnesium? The signs are subtle but common. Leg cramps, restless sleep, muscle twitching, fatigue, even mood changes like irritability or anxiety. Blood tests aren't always reliable because most magnesium is stored in tissues, not blood. So if you recognize these symptoms, chances are your body is signaling that it needs more. By making magnesium glycinate a nightly habit, you're aligning supplementation with your body's natural repair window. You're filling the gap that nature leaves when magnesium levels dip at night, and you're doing it in a form that's gentle, highly absorbable, and sleep-promoting. That's why this specific form is such a game changer for older adults. When taken consistently, just one small capsule 30 to 60 minutes before bed, magnesium glycinate transforms the nighttime hours into a period of powerful recovery. Instead of waking up tired, sore, or weaker, you rise with more energy, less stiffness, and greater confidence in your body. For many people in their 60s and 70s, this small shift is the key that unlocks stronger mornings and steadier days. Vitamin D is often called the sunshine vitamin, but in truth, it acts much more like a hormone than a simple nutrient. Once activated in your body, vitamin D3 influences hundreds of processes, from immune function to bone density to, most importantly for today's discussion, muscle health. What many people don't realize is that vitamin D3 helps stimulate muscle protein synthesis and supports the growth of type 2 muscle fibers, the very fibers that provide strength, speed, and stability. These fibers are the ones most vulnerable to age-related decline. When they shrink, balance becomes shaky, everyday movements like climbing stairs feel harder, and the risk of falls increases. For adults over 60, protecting these fibers isn't optional, it's essential. Here's a sobering fact. More than 75% of Americans over the age of 60 are deficient in vitamin D, and the numbers climb even higher during the winter months when sunlight exposure is scarce. That deficiency translates into weaker muscles, slower recovery, more frequent cramps, and even a higher risk of fractures. So if you feel more sluggish in the colder seasons, part of the answer may be a lack of this hormone-like vitamin. But here's the twist. Taking vitamin D3 on its own is not enough. In fact, it can even be harmful. Vitamin D3 increases calcium absorption from your intestines, pulling more of this mineral into your bloodstream. That sounds like a good thing, but without another nutrient, vitamin K2, to direct that calcium to the right places, much of it can end up in the wrong tissues. Instead of being deposited into your bones and muscles where it strengthens structure and function, calcium can harden arteries, build up in joints, or settle in soft tissues. That's why D3 and K2 are a package deal. You should never think of one without the other. Vitamin K2, especially in its MK7 form, acts like a traffic cop for calcium. It activates proteins that guide calcium to bones and muscle tissue and keep it out of arteries and organs where it doesn't belong. MK7 is particularly effective because it has a long half-life, staying active in your system for up to 3 days. This means when you take vitamin D3 with K2 inches the evening, you're not only boosting muscle protein synthesis overnight, you're also ensuring the calcium pulled into your system ends up exactly where it should. Now let's talk about timing. Most people assume vitamin D should be taken in the morning, perhaps with breakfast, but studies suggest that taking it too early in the day can interfere with melatonin production later that night, making it harder to fall asleep. By shifting D3 to the evening, taken with your dinner or a small snack containing healthy fat, you align supplementation with your body's natural rhythms. Muscle tissue has more active vitamin D receptors at night, meaning your muscles are more responsive to the hormone precisely when they are primed for repair. You also avoid the melatonin suppression that morning doses sometimes trigger. The result: stronger muscles, deeper sleep, and a healthier circadian rhythm. Another advantage of evening dosing is the effect on nighttime cramps and muscle discomfort. Seniors often report waking with calf cramps that interrupt sleep and leave muscles sore in the morning. When vitamin D3 is combined with K2 at night, studies show it can help reduce those cramps, allowing uninterrupted rest. And uninterrupted rest is where the magic happens, where growth hormone rises, protein is rebuilt, and strength is restored. Let me share a practical picture. Imagine a 70-year-old woman who has always loved gardening but lately finds her legs giving out after just a short time outside. She feels wobbly, worries about losing her independence, and her doctor tells her she has low vitamin D levels. After adding vitamin D3 with K2 to her evening routine, within a few months she notices she can spend longer stretches in the garden without fatigue. Her bones feel sturdier, her muscles stronger, and she sleeps more soundly. The difference wasn't just in adding vitamin D, it was in pairing it with K2 and taking it at the right time. The recommended dose for most adults over 60 is between 2,000 and 4,000 IU of vitamin D3, combined with 100 to 200 micrograms of vitamin K2 inches, the MK7 form. Both are fat-soluble, so be sure to take them with an evening meal that includes some healthy fat, like olive oil, avocado, or salmon. This ensures maximum absorption and effectiveness. There's one very important safety note. If you are taking blood thinners such as warfarin, you must speak with your healthcare provider before adding vitamin K2. Because K2 influences blood clotting pathways, it can interact with these medications. For everyone else, however, this combination is generally safe, highly effective, and one of the most powerful tools we have against age-related muscle loss and bone weakness. By correcting a vitamin D deficiency and pairing it properly with K2, you're not just protecting your bones and heart, you're actively reversing one of the biggest drivers of age-related frailty. Taken at night, this duo works in harmony with your body's repair cycles, helping you wake up steadier on your feet, more energetic, and ready to take on the day with strength and confidence. Zinc is one of those minerals that quietly works behind the scenes, yet its impact on muscle health is enormous. Without enough zinc, your body cannot properly build new muscle tissue, even if you're eating plenty of protein. That's why I like to say, you can eat steak every day, but if you're zinc deficient, you're still losing muscle. Zinc is a cofactor in over 100 enzymes, many of them directly involved in protein synthesis. It's the spark plug that allows amino acids from your food to be converted into strong, functional muscle fibers. But that's not all. Zinc plays a key role in hormone production, particularly testosterone and growth hormone, two hormones that drive muscle maintenance and repair. Testosterone levels naturally decline with age, and growth hormone pulses are weaker after 60. Without enough zinc, those already reduced hormone levels dip even lower, accelerating sarcopenia. By restoring zinc at night, you give your body the raw material it needs to produce these hormones during their peak secretion window while you sleep. In other words, zinc sets the stage for your hormones to do their rebuilding work. Here's something many people don't realize. Zinc is primarily utilized during sleep. Tissue repair, wound healing, and immune surveillance all peak at night, and zinc is required for every one of these processes. That's why timing matters. Taking zinc in the morning certainly supports overall health, but when you take it in the evening, you align it with your body's natural demand. While you rest, zinc is shuttled directly into the processes that matter most, repairing muscle fibers, producing growth hormone, and calming inflammation. Of course, not every form of zinc is equal. Zinc oxide and zinc sulfate, the cheaper forms you often see in multivitamins, are poorly absorbed and can upset the stomach. For seniors who may already have compromised digestion, those forms are a recipe for disappointment. Zinc picolinate is different. It's bound to picolinic acid, which enhances absorption and makes it gentler on the digestive tract. That means the zinc you take actually gets into your bloodstream and into your muscle tissue where it belongs, without causing nausea or discomfort. The mini hook here is simple but powerful. Zinc deficiency equals muscle loss even if you're eating enough protein, and deficiency is more common than you might think. Many medications interfere with zinc absorption, including common drugs for blood pressure, diabetes, and acid reflux. Add in a diet that's lighter on red meat or shellfish, and the chances of falling short increase dramatically. In fact, studies show that older adults are among the most likely to be deficient, which helps explain why frailty progresses so quickly after age 60. Let me give you an example. A 65-year-old man noticed he was becoming more easily fatigued. Carrying groceries felt harder, and he needed longer naps in the afternoon. He thought he was just getting old. But blood work revealed low zinc levels. After supplementing with zinc picolinate in the evening, within a month he began waking up with more energy, his afternoon slumps disappeared, and he felt steady enough to carry groceries again without strain. What changed wasn't his protein intake, it was his body's ability to use that protein because zinc was finally present. Now, let's talk dosage. For most adults over 60, 15 to 25 milligrams of zinc picolinate taken about 30 minutes before bed is sufficient. The key is to take it on an empty stomach for maximum absorption, but also to avoid taking it alongside calcium, iron, or copper, since these minerals compete with zinc and block its uptake. That's another reason evening dosing works so well. By this time of day, you're usually past your multivitamin or dairy intake, and zinc can be absorbed cleanly. Beyond muscle repair, zinc offers one more benefit. At night, it promotes deeper sleep. Zinc helps regulate neurotransmitters that calm the nervous system, giving you a steadier transition into restorative sleep stages. The result is a win-win: better rest and stronger muscles. When you add zinc picolinate to your nighttime routine, you're not just supporting immunity or hormone levels, you're directly fueling your body's ability to turn dietary protein into lasting muscle strength. And for anyone over 60, that means waking up more resilient, steadier on your feet, and less vulnerable to the muscle loss that steals independence with age. Vitamin B6 is often overlooked when people think about muscle health, but in its active form called P5P, or pyridoxal 5-phosphate, it plays a surprisingly powerful role in how your body recovers at night. P5, P is the version of B6 your body can use immediately without needing to be converted by the liver. That's important because liver function naturally declines with age, meaning many seniors can't efficiently activate regular B6. By choosing P5P, you skip that step and give your body a ready-to-go form that supports muscle and brain function during the hours when both are most active in repair. One of P5P's key jobs is protein metabolism. It helps break down the protein you've eaten during the day into amino acids and then rebuild those amino acids into new muscle tissue while you sleep. Without adequate B6, this process stalls even if your diet is full of high-quality protein. Think of P5P as the construction manager on a nighttime building site. The bricks and lumber are there, but without someone directing the work, the structure never comes together. With P5P in place, your muscles can actually use the protein you've provided, leading to stronger fibers and better endurance. But P5P's role doesn't stop there. It's also essential for producing neurotransmitters like serotonin and GABA, which are calming chemicals that promote relaxation and make it easier to fall asleep. Unlike taking melatonin or sleep medications, P5P helps your body create these compounds naturally, which means no dependency or tolerance issues. Seniors who start using P5P at night often report more vivid dreams, a sign that REM sleep is improving. And that matters because REM sleep is where your brain consolidates motor learning and muscle memory. In simple terms, REM sleep helps your body remember how to move efficiently, whether that's keeping your balance on uneven ground or coordinating your hands while cooking. Another fascinating effect of P5P is its role in producing carnosine, a compound that buffers acid inside muscles and reduces fatigue. Higher carnosine levels mean you can do more before tiring out and experience less muscle soreness afterward. For someone in their 60s or 70s, that translates into being able to walk further, climb stairs with less effort, or carry groceries without feeling wiped out the next day. There's also a cardiovascular benefit. P5P helps regulate homocysteine, an amino acid that, when elevated, contributes to inflammation and damages muscle tissue. By lowering homocysteine, P5P protects not just your heart and vessels, but also your muscles from unnecessary breakdown. The dose that works best for most older adults is in the range of 10 to 25 milligrams taken at night, often alongside magnesium glycinate. These two nutrients work hand in hand. Magnesium helps activate B6, and B6 helps magnesium enter cells. But with B6, more is not better. High doses over time can lead to neuropathy or nerve irritation. So, staying within a safe, moderate range is essential. Here's the mini hook. When you begin dreaming more vividly on P5P, it's not a side effect to fear, it's a signal that your brain and muscles are in active recovery mode. That's your body telling you that repair is happening, both in your nervous system and in your tissues. For adults over 60, P5P can be the missing piece that turns restless nights into productive, restorative ones, leaving you sharper in mind and stronger in body the next morning. You can sleep a full 8 hours, but still wake up feeling exhausted simply because you took the wrong vitamins at the wrong time. That's the danger of supplement timing, and for older adults, it can make the difference between deep recovery and another restless night. Let's talk about the two vitamins you should absolutely avoid before bed: vitamin B12 and high-dose vitamin C. Vitamin B12 is often nicknamed the energy vitamin, and for good reason. It's essential for red blood cell production, nerve health, and the creation of ATP, your body's energy currency. But that stimulating effect is a double-edged sword. Taken in the morning, B12 can boost alertness, improve focus, and give you the vitality you need to stay active during the day. Taken at night, however, it does the exact opposite of what you want. B12 ramps up metabolism, raises cortisol levels, and makes you feel wired when your body should be winding down. It can also suppress melatonin, the sleep hormone that signals your brain to enter deep, restorative rest. The end result? You might fall asleep, but your sleep architecture, the natural flow through light, deep, and REM sleep gets disrupted. That's why so many people who take B12 inches the evening wake up groggy and weak, even after a full night in bed. The fix is simple. Move your B12 or your B complex supplement, if that's what you use, to the morning hours, ideally before noon. That way, you get all the benefits without sabotaging your sleep. Now, let's turn to vitamin C. This one surprises people because vitamin C is so often associated with immune support and collagen production. And yes, it's essential. But when you take high doses of vitamin C at night, a few problems arise. First, vitamin C has a mild diuretic effect. That means more bathroom trips in the middle of the night. Each time you wake up, even for a few minutes, growth hormone release is interrupted and cortisol spikes. Over time, that fragmentation erodes your body's ability to repair muscles. Second, vitamin C in large doses can blunt the oxidative signals that your muscles actually need to adapt and grow stronger. A small amount of oxidative stress is what tells your body, repair and rebuild here. If you flood your system with antioxidants right before bed, you mute that signal and recovery suffers. And third, vitamin C interferes with the absorption of zinc, a mineral we just discussed as being critical for nighttime muscle repair. Taking zinc and vitamin C together at night means you lose much of the benefit from both. For these reasons, vitamin C is best split into morning and midday doses. That way, you maintain immune support and collagen production during the hours you're active without disrupting your body's nighttime recovery window. The bottom line, vitamin B12 and high-dose vitamin C are valuable nutrients, but they work against your goals if taken at night. Shift them earlier in the day, and you'll protect your sleep, your hormones, and your muscles. Remember, even the most well-intentioned supplement routine can backfire if timing isn't right. So how do you put all of this together into a simple, effective plan you can start tonight? The good news is that the nighttime muscle recovery protocol is straightforward. It doesn't involve dozens of pills, complicated schedules, or expensive therapies. It's just about giving your body the right tools at the right time. Here's the summary. With your evening meal, ideally dinner, take vitamin D3 paired with vitamin K2. These two fat-soluble nutrients work best when consumed with food that contains healthy fats. Think salmon, olive oil, avocado, or even a small handful of nuts. This combination strengthens muscle fibers, supports bone health, and ensures calcium ends up in the right places. Then, about 30 to 60 minutes before bed, take magnesium glycinate, zinc picolinate, and P5P, the active form of vitamin B6. This trio is best on a relatively empty stomach, with just a glass of water. Magnesium calms your nervous system, helps regulate blood sugar, and prevents overnight cramps. Zinc drives protein synthesis, testosterone, and growth hormone production while you sleep. And P5P keeps protein metabolism, neurotransmitter balance, and REM sleep functioning at their best. Taken together, they create a powerful environment for muscle rebuilding overnight. Equally important is what not to do after 2 p.m. Avoid taking vitamin B12 or high doses of vitamin C. B12 stimulates your metabolism and disrupts melatonin, while vitamin C can interfere with zinc absorption and fragment your sleep with unnecessary bathroom trips. Moving these nutrients to the morning or midday allows them to do their job without colliding with your body's nighttime rhythms. What kind of results can you expect? Let's walk through the timeline. Week 1. The first thing most people notice is deeper, more restful sleep. You may fall asleep faster, wake up fewer times in the night, and experience more vivid dreams as REM sleep improves. Week 2. Morning stiffness and muscle soreness begin to ease. You may find yourself getting out of bed with more energy and less fatigue. Even if you haven't gained visible strength yet, your recovery is improving beneath the surface. By week 4, functional strength starts to return. Simple daily tasks, carrying groceries, getting out of a chair, climbing stairs become noticeably easier. Your muscles are adapting, fibers are rebuilding, and energy feels steadier. Between weeks 8 and 12, that's when the full transformation becomes clear. Muscles feel firmer to the touch, endurance improves, and balance steadies. Many seniors describe it as feeling 10 years younger, not because of a miracle drug, but because their bodies are finally working with nature's repair cycle instead of against it. This protocol is not about quick fixes. It's about consistency, giving your body the exact nutrients it needs when it needs them most. Stick with it, and each night becomes an opportunity not to decline, but to rebuild. When it comes to rebuilding strength after 60, the answer isn't found in expensive medications or complicated therapies. It's far simpler and far more natural. 4 vitamins, taken at the right time, can unlock your body's ability to repair muscle every single night. And just as important, avoiding too common vitamins in the evening prevents your sleep and recovery from being disrupted. It's not about adding more supplements, it's about smarter timing. Think about what this means. Every night you go to bed, your body has the chance to get weaker or stronger. By aligning your nutrition with your natural rhythms, you give yourself the opportunity to wake up steadier on your feet, less sore, and more confident in your own body. You don't need to spend a fortune or chase miracle cures. All it takes is understanding how your body really works and respecting its nightly repair process. Remember this, a good night's sleep is